What's going on, race fans? This is the Vurbmoto Arenacross Runback. I am your host, Brad Gebhardt, and also with me on the line, an Arenacross expert in his own right when he's not in the trees, calling all the action for the GNCCs. Zac Herrin, welcome to the show.
Look at that, Brad. It's early for you to be rhyming already, man, but I'm excited. We've got a ton of arena cross action to cover, and with only a couple of rounds left, it is anybody's guess who's going to be taking this 2024 title.
There are so many different storylines. You've got guys being injected into the series. First and foremost, you have Mr. Hicks. Honestly, I'm so excited about Michael Hicks being injected into the series, and now he finds himself in the friendly confines of an AMA Arenacross series. He's going to be in a Rock River Yamaha, which spells a problem for our current champion and points leader, Kyle Peters. That's going to put a thorn in his side if he didn't already have enough of those already.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, there is a ton of action going on down in Daytona. It's going to be a ton of fun. I'm going to be down there. We got the GNCCs, we've got the Arena Cross, the Supercross, of course, and then moving to the backside of Daytona Bike Week, we've got the GNC or the Arena Cross doubleheader event, which I think in its own right is going to be a make or break situation for this entire series. But talking about this upcoming round this Friday, I mean, the action, the energy, it's everything that makes Daytona Bike Week what it is, right? It's just a spectacle in its own right. You've got the choppers, you got the sport bikes, and then we're taking things to the dirt or bringing the dirt into Ocean Center there in Daytona so we can do battle for this 2024 Arena Cross Championship. But you hit the nail on the head, Brad, as if the drama wasn't hot enough, right? As if we couldn't already not get enough between Ryan Brees and Kyle Peters, the battle for the championship. So it seems we've got, like you said, some injections into this season. And what are the chances that we're going to have a four-time Arena Cross champion facing up against another four-time Arena Cross champion? Two different series, but two different gentlemen that consider themselves the top dog in Arena Cross racing. Michael Hicks over there in that GT Arena Motocross series, he's been doing good. He's been handling business much like KP has over on the AMA Arena Cross circuit. But as we've seen, one is a lonely number, and there can only be one guy at the top step of the podium. These two guys are puffing the chest out. They're saying, hey, you're the four-time champ. I'm the four-time champ. There can only be one top dog in Arena Cross. And so this has been an ongoing battle, from what I understand, between Kyle Peters and Michael Hicks. A little bit of chirping online, a little bit of chirping in the pits as far as who's the real top dog of Arena Cross. And so this is going to be interesting to see. Obviously, Michael Hicks jumping over to the AMA Arena Cross series, but as if that wasn't spicy enough, he's on that Rock River Yamaha, which not only fantastic motorcycle, fantastic team, fantastic opportunity for Michael to perform well in his own right. It's also the same team as the number one contender to dethrone Kyle Peters at the moment, which is Ryan Brees. So we're going to see a lot of interesting dynamics. I'm not saying I'm expecting team play. I'm not expecting any kind of tricks or anything like that, but it is definitely something worth noting. Your top contender for the title right now, his teammate, is a four-time champion and is also definitely going to be going for the number one of Kyle Peters. Not to try to ruin the championship, but to try to show that he is the top guy. He's definitely not going to be getting out of the way when your leaders come around if he finds himself out front. Now, you've also got a little guy by the name of Marshall Welton. Maybe you've heard of him. He kind of hauls ass on a motorcycle. Yeah, Marshall also jumping over to the AMA Arena Cross Series, going to be on a Yamaha as well, but Marshall's a good buddy of Kyle Peters. They're both here in the Carolinas. They've kind of grown up together. So I'm not expecting any kind of craziness from Marshall Welton besides twisting that right throttle and trying to run off with the best finish possible. So what if you're not already getting the picture? We've talked about the points breakdown. 9 points separating Kyle Peters out front with the red plate right now behind Ryan Brees. At the moment, Kyle Peters could finish second behind Ryan Brees for the rest of the season. No problems. He gets that fifth title. But you start injecting riders like Marshall Welton. You start bringing riders over like Michael Hicks. You start bringing riders over like X-named Supercross rider, because I've heard a lot of different rumors. So many I can't even tell which are true. But there is definitely going to be some big names jumping over from Supercross to try to dip down into the Arena Cross Series, see if they can get a piece of the pie as well. Now, what that does, it creates a whole new set of chaos for the podium finishes and provides an opportunity for Brees to quickly make up the 9 points, or for Kyle Peters to cement this championship early by getting a great finish, getting a win, and maybe seeing Brees have some bad luck, find himself off the podium. So it is do or die for both the 200 and the number one right now.
Absolutely. One thing is very clear when it comes to Rock River Yamaha is they are fully invested in winning this championship and putting their team in the best position to do exactly that. With Ryan Brees as the flagship rider, you have essentially two teammates now who can not only possibly run his pace or faster, but that's going to basically thicken the mixture when it comes to those reverse starts having to come through. Maybe that works in Ryan Brees' favor. Maybe that actually works in Kyle Peters' favor. Honestly, I think this is just going to make racing so much more exciting within this series. You're going to have more top end talent and guys fighting for position. And don't think that Isaiah Clark, Jared Lesher, all those guys are going to just take kindly to new talent coming into their series and wanting to establish themselves. Don't forget about the nuclear element. Cody Groves is not going to be happy about a bunch of Supercross guys and who the hell Michael Hicks is coming into his series and making a bunch of noise. That guy has been the class clown and the guy making a lot of noise in that series, and he's not going to be happy about having some people in there who are potentially taking of his slice of the pie. And you as well as I know, when Cody Groves is hungry, don't take his pie.
Absolutely, yeah. Cody Groves on that Suzuki machine, not a guy to be messed around with. And I think you've seen a lot of growth from Groves throughout the entire season. He is really starting to come into his own. Yeah, he's got a little bit of that class clown element to him. He's got some great interviews. I love listening to him on the microphone, but he does have the right hand figured out. He does know how to twist the throttle, and we've seen him consistently getting better results throughout the season. Definitely in the mix to play spoiler throughout the final couple of rounds. And to your point, yeah, these guys, I don't want to say they're territorial, but they might be throwing up the dog leg, letting them know, hey, you're in my house now, buddy, and you're going to have to work to get past me, whether it's for first place, fifth place, or just to make it into the main event. So it is going to be exciting to see how your entire AMA Arenacross contestants welcome over these new riders, whether it's from the other Arenacross series or from Supercross, because they have a championship on the line. We've seen it in other racing series when the new guy comes over from a different series. Normally they try to stay out of it, right? They don't want to cause any championship drama. If we don't have drama in Arenacross, then why are we even going racing? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we have got drama to the nth degree. Battles that we were expecting for first and second, we could very well see for fourth and fifth with some of these other riders jumping in. Like you said, Brad, great point. The inverted start becomes a lot more complicated when you have 5 to 6 riders that are genuinely capable of taking away a win. I mean, Kyle Bitterman, another great name. You know he's looking to cement his name on the top step of the podium towards the end of the season. All of these AMA Arenacross contestants, while there might be 2 riders in a championship battle, they are all still looking to get their name on the top step of the podium, take away the money, take away the champagne, and really let these guys puke over whatever they have left over. If you want to go for the win, you're going to have to get around me. Isaiah Clark and Ryan Brees both just last weekend jumping over to Supercross. Do we see a benefit from that? Maybe a little bit of confidence, maybe a little bit of like, hey, I was able to do it over there in the big stadiums. Now that I'm back here, you got a whole new amount of intensity. I got to see how those guys do it. Now I'm bringing that back over to Arenacross. So it is anybody's guess. Starts are going to be absolutely crucial. The Daytona circuit or the Daytona track always breaks down significantly, gets super rough, even for an Arenacross track. So you're going to see some tough track conditions. You're going to see some tough competition. And as always, you're going to see some great racing in the AMA Arenacross series.
Here's the bottom line. Kyle Peters needs to win some races down the stretch in order to secure this championship. Technically, yes, he could get second in every moto out and still get it if Ryan Brees is in first place. But I don't like those odds. I'm not playing that game knowing that I have to get a bunch of seconds. He needs to do some winning, and he needs to do some winning now. Kyle Peters wants to win this championship. He's in it for 5 in a row, and if it means enough to him, it's gonna happen because he's been working hard on this. He did not go out to Supercross to go make some extra money. I don't even think that Kyle Peters is in this for the money. He wants the prestige. He wants to be in there with Buddy Antunez and have his legacy as an Arenacross racer, being one of the most dominant and successful racers of the sports history in general. And I think he's going to establish himself. He's going to go win some races. And because Kyle Peters has been doing that for 4 years now. He has
Absolutely.
the experience and he's got the speed to do it.
Yeah, no, and I think you've got the perfect point in the sense of there's no excuses. I can tell you, I know for a fact, the Phoenix Racing Honda team, they're expecting a fifth championship. Or Honda Racing is expecting a fifth championship. Kyle Peters is expecting a fifth championship. You talk to any one of the team, any one of those guys coming into the season, their goal was to walk away with that number one plate once again. And that is a tall order, whether you've done it 4 times already or not. And so it's a lot less room for error, if you will. Second, definitely doesn't taste as good when you've tasted first for that long. And so I completely agree. Kyle Peters, he's had a nice little reset period, right? Like you said, didn't go out to Supercross. I'm sure been putting the time in, been pounding the track, been searching for anything, maybe not even searching, maybe just building the confidence, finding some comfort in where he is right now, believing in himself. And you can bet your bottom dollar that when the gate drops in Daytona, Kyle Peters is going to come out swinging. And I completely agree. He ain't looking for a second place. The man ain't interested in silver. He wants the number one spot. He wants to beat everybody straight up. And he wants to show that I've done it before and I'm going to do it again here in 2024. This number one plate is mine.
A lot has been made of Kyle Peters, obviously being frustrated and visibly upset after some of these races, not attending the champagne portion of the podium ceremony and whatnot. All that tells me is that he's fired up. He's not here to make friends. He's not here to chum around. To him, this is very serious. This is his livelihood, and this is his legacy when it comes to arena cross.
Absolutely, Brad. And I think the fact that we see Kyle Peters showing the emotion, right? Clearly not happy. Guess what? Good. All right. That's what I want to see out of somebody going for a championship. I don't want you excited for second place. All right. I think it is crystal clear. Kyle wants to be in first or nothing. All right. It is win or say die out there for Kyle Peters. I think you're starting to see that mentality for Bree as well.
One thing that has surprised me and impressed me throughout this season is his ability to figure out that second moto with the inverted start. Lately, he's been getting mid-pack starts, and after a couple of laps, he's got clear track in front of him, and he's just putting some time in before he starts running into some lappers. It's been really impressive to see him figure that out. The other thing that I've been noticing about Ryan Brees is after these wins, he's all smiles, and almost to the point of like he's playing that like kind of the smiling assassin. Like it almost drives you more nuts than if he was aggressive towards you. He just kind of like there was after the one race, he sort of like went over to one of the triples, kind of like goes to the crowd and then looks back at Peters like, "Hey, you good? All right, I'm going to talk to my people now," and just like hands in the air, people going nuts. He's playing to the crowd. I'm sure the arena cross guys absolutely love him over there, and it's been great to see because honestly, this is a guy who was not scheduled to race this series like 4 months ago. This was not even on his radar, and he's gonna race one round, get ready for Supercross, and head on off to do the rest of the season in the ranked of Supercross, where we've seen him before. We've seen him have success, race a lot of main events in Supercross, and he's parlayed that into a bid for an Arena Cross championship. Pretty cool story.
Absolutely, without a doubt. All eyes are going to be on Arena Cross on Friday night, and then a week later, Friday and Saturday, the doubleheader as well. But I think talking about those second main events, I think what I have noticed, the biggest difference between Kyle Peters and Ryan Brees, Peters, he has that quiet confidence from those past championships, right? For me, at least, it seemed like Peters has had the confidence of knowing, hey, I don't have to rush these first couple of laps because I almost always find myself at the front of the field by the time the checkered flag falls. I'm able to pick through, I'm able to get the spots that I need and get to the front of the field by the time the race is over. Whereas Ryan Brees, he kind of makes things happen. You watch him, he's forcing the issue early, right? He's not very methodical. He's more like a wrecking ball. Move or be moved. I'm coming to the front. I think now you've had to see a change in strategy for Kyle Peters. Hey, that's the way this guy's doing it, and he's going to be at the front by lap 3. Now I got to be at the front by lap 3 for us to have a battle for the rest of the main event. So I think both of those riders have adapted their strategy in that second main event. Both of them have found themselves up front early, but both of them didn't have the names that we're going to have this Friday at Daytona.
It's going to be extremely exciting. And I'm sure that Kyle Peters is happy about none of it, aside from the fact that he's a gamer and he loves to race. That's why he continues to do this. And I think he's licking his chops. Bring them all. Run what you brung, and we'll see where the chips fall when the night is done. You're going to be down in Daytona, are you not?
Absolutely. Yeah. So my plan, like we said, Arenacross essentially kicking off the two-wheeled action for all of the Daytona Bike Week. That's going to be happening Friday night. I'm going to be in Palatka, Florida, about an hour north for the GNCCs on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to miss the Supercross, which I am bummed about, but definitely planning on being at this first Daytona round because man, not only is the riders going to be there, the industry's going to be there, right? You've got so many people from Supercross that are planning on going to Arena Cross Friday, then Supercross Saturday. So the crowd is going to be absolutely insane. The track already looks phenomenal. I've seen the videos. It looks like they got the track almost entirely put together. It is going to be a historic night of arena cross racing for sure. One of the biggest crowds we've probably ever had on hand. And I think one of the deepest fields that we've ever had on hand as well. So absolutely, Kyle Peters needs to be channeling his inner Jocko Willink, right? You want to bring the Supercross riders, you want to bring the other arena cross riders, good. That's just more opportunities for me to show that I am the number one and this championship is mine. So it's anybody's guess. The cards are set. Now we just have to see how it all unfolds here this Friday out in Daytona.
Absolutely. You have yourselves a great time in Daytona. I can't wait to hear all of your stories from Razzles on one of the particular nights. You'll probably be popping bottles along with Ryan Bree or Kyle Peters. I don't think Kyle Peters is kind of the popping bottle kind of guy, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, guys, appreciate everyone for taking some time to listen to this. Shout out to everybody over at the Arena Cross series. We love you guys. And yeah, this is Vurbmoto signing off for the Arena Cross Runback.